Welcome to Incredible Idaho. I'm Jack Hemingway, sitting in tonight as guest host for Wayne Walker. This winter of 96-97 is destined for the record books. There's been more snow this year in parts of Idaho than ever recorded since the government began keeping track over 30 years ago. Along with the avalanches, mudslides, and rampant flooding come reports of deer and elk on the brink of starvation. The truth is that the wildlife of our state is adapted to survive a Rocky Mountain winter and has endured the turbulent patterns of weather since the beginnings of time. The elk are the most visible. They stand starkly silhouetted against a snowy white hillside, motionless in the bitter cold. Naturally, our hearts are moved. We feel the cold and imagine ourselves in their place. But our bodies are not made to endure severe weather without protection. Our skin doesn't collect and contain heat like the thickened and insulated coats of deer and elk. Our feet aren't constructed with hooves, natural buffers against the ice. And our bodies don't use the energy in the same manner, deliberately slowing our metabolic rate to preserve it. But the feelings of compassion remain. And despite the fact that wildlife has survived winters without us for thousands of years, we feel compelled to help. Starvation is one of nature's laws, but a difficult one for man to accept. Our first instinct is to set up areas to feed the animals. And that is where we must proceed delicately and with the utmost caution. In our haste to help, we may do more damage than good. Artificially gathering large numbers of wild animals in an area can be an invitation for disease, and this is a concern for both the livestock industry and the Idaho Department of Fish and Game. In 1994, the Idaho legislature established 5-member citizens committees in regions throughout the state to advise the Fish and Game on winter feeding issues and to establish the criteria that defines an emergency situation.
If we have such a severe winter that we would expect higher than usual mortality, then we should go ahead and feed and avoid some of that mortality. We'll never eliminate it all, and you expect mortality. That's one of the natural things that happens in a wild population, just like it happens in a human population, and we'll never eliminate it all. But in real severe critical circumstances, we can reduce some of that.
Another concern is that winter feeding results in animal populations staying artificially high, causing the wildlife to outgrow the winter habitat. This could happen near the small town of Stanley in the Sawtooth Mountains. Fish and Game biologists and the Citizens Advisory Committee estimate that the winter range in the Stanley Basin can support about 450 head of elk, but more than twice that number are trying to winter here.
We're at 1,000 elk right now, and we're trying to reduce that population through a combination of hunting and transplanting the animals out.
Although the sun is shining brightly, it's an icy cold morning in the Stanley Basin. By 9 o'clock, the temperature has climbed to a frigid 22 degrees below zero. The cold is biting, nipping at exposed flesh and attacking vulnerable fingers and toes. The early morning light casts long blue shadows across the snow as the trapping crew begins to work. Inside the enclosure is a lone elk, the first to be trapped in an operation that will eventually try and move nearly 100 animals to better winter range.
Come on back, Mark.
Eventually, everything is in place, and the gate swings open. The elk hesitates, and then sensing escape, trots through. It's instantly caught in the chute and immobilized so the scientists can mark it with ear tags.
That's good. Ear tags 390 and 391.
It's a female calf. The ear tags will identify her as an elk that was moved from the Stanley Basin if she's ever caught again or taken by a hunter. Then the gate is raised, and she instantly bolts for the shadowy security of the horse trailer.
Whoa. Close it. Okay, watch your fingers. Now we'll go down to the next trap, and we've got 3 elk there, and we'll try to get those out of the next trap. Put them in the same trailer.
It's just a short drive down the highway to the second trap site, a large corral set up adjacent to a hot spring. Elk are everywhere, feeding along the stream bed and loafing on the hillside above.
there's way too many elk here than what this little hot spring can support, which is kind of what causes the troubles out here. There's too many elk around for these little areas, and they just kind of hang out and wait till little shoots come up, little green shoots. And
The elk are being fed in this area to relieve the pressure and also to get them acclimated to the corral. The largest bundles of hay are placed inside the enclosure to entice the animals into the trap.
we've got 3 in there now, and a cow and a couple of calves. And, so we got to work these a little differently than we did the other one. Cow that's kind of caught like this, they can get pretty owly. So, you know, it's nothing for them to run around a few times and figure out there's no way out except through you. So
Mark is about to find out that he's been way too optimistic. He has clearly underestimated the character of this particular cow elk. A better description might be an elk that's too smart, too stubborn, and far too tough to be duped into going for a ride in a horse trailer.
anytime you're ready, guys.
The 2 calves go like clockwork. The gate opens and the first one trots out of the corral and into the chute.
Okay, tie it off.
The second calf is equally cooperative. She strolls almost leisurely into the holding chute and then stands quietly as she's fitted with ear tags.
Okay, she's set.
So far, a smooth operation. That is until now.
Okay. Okay. We're ready.
Although the gate to the chute swings open, the cow ignores it, turning instead to face the door blocking her escape.
Just kind of back off and let her fuss around. She'll.
Her ears face forward and she emits a series of high-pitched barks, all part of a defensive stance against a perceived threat.
See, Mark? Wide open with the door there. Give her a view.
Her defiance is a stirring reminder that these are wild animals and that we need to respect that fact. That we have an obligation to carefully weigh any decisions that interfere with nature's laws.
Come on. Yeah, 2 people is the way to get us. Come on, come on. Come on. Come on. Let's go.
This cow knows that the door is the way to freedom, and she's not going to be bluffed into going through the gate behind her.
You'll see just 1 cow or something out of the whole bunch will act just like this. She will not go in there.
Mark decides that too much time has been wasted on one animal, and she's set free. She leaves quickly, moving with a kind of subdued dignity across the stream to join the rest of the herd. As the trap is being reset, the truck hauling the 3 calves starts on the road to lower elevations. It will be a 5-hour trip, north through the town of Salmon, and then west down the Salmon River Road to better winter range. As the crew travels, they receive word that 25 more elk have been captured in the trap back in Stanley and are being loaded up for the long journey to the release site. It's nearly dark by the time the first truck arrives. The 3 calves hesitate as the door swings open, then crowd to the back of the trailer.
Come on.
But with a little encouragement, they spring free one by one, running off into the night.
Okay, come on, little one.
Now they'll feed on their own with no help from man. Now they are truly wild.